round of the first half of phase number 2 before we close up shop for the week. So we'll see how this turns out.
Yep, so already right off the bat, people are just jumping off very, very quickly now. Expand currently going for that split movement once again. We see anxiety as well as first Raiders thinking about going for the refinery, but kind of canceling at the last moment, instead choosing to take onto the outskirts. Only MDH seems to be close enough to fully take control of refinery from the get-go. Dewa United has taken onto the high-tier loot zone. We already see shots being rung out on the eastern side. They expand and heavy right now, exchanging fire, as well as MDH as well as Axis on the other side of the map. Now X-Roy is going to try to wrap around here to see if we can get a good spot here to try to snipe against the sniper that is Buffalo, who hasn't quite picked up a sniper rifle yet, so there might still be a chance here for X-Roy to take him on.
He has a charge buster in hand, so Tom, you have to be really careful because that thing can one-shot you. And that's why Heavy that doing it in a very cautious manner. Just go for the double onto X-Roy, double revolver doing the job. One of their biggest opponents in this entire phase 2, so Heavy very happy to get that first kill.
I think there's a reason why those like double revolver is such a popular setup here for Team Heavy, because I think the per shot damage is actually quite significant. That if you are able to land those shots there, even with a higher a gun with a higher rate of fire, like the double vectors, may not be able to keep up with that level of DPS. So perhaps like it's a bit of a risky kind of thing to use for sure. But I mean, risk versus reward. The reward is just certainly much greater to be able to get those close quarter kills there using the double revolver. First raid is now going up against Zen OP. He's been spotted just as he exfil out of the warehouse. Souza's going to try to keep him locked down here. Blue wall's going to be set up here as well, and he knows, oh, just one bust there to try to bust down the blue walls. Souza now tries to take to the high ground. Zen OP very much in trouble right now. He cannot get himself out of his quandary. As look at the charge buster that's busting out those glue walls as if they were made of nothing. Zen OP though was able to slip by while Souza had to wait a little bit to get his health back up. Tries to get interrupted a little bit there because of Zen OP running around the outside, but now he'll be forced to try to put his health up. Oh, the grenade
so
barely just came true, and Zen OP unfortunately will be punished heavily because of that.
Yeah, Souza decided to prone because his hoodie was showing. That could have been a deadly, could have had deadly consequences. But both teams suffering a bit of damage and anxiety cleaned up by Team Flash.
Yeah, Team Flash, who landed close to the shrines there, also landed on top of where anxiety was. So a bit unfortunate for the Filipino squads to be the first team to get bowed out in the last round for today. Bond meeting with Axis as well. Looks like they're going to be taking a fight right now on the Council Hall. A favorite spot here if we take these close quarter fights, and Bond is taking the high ground here against Neptune.
What?
But Reed's teammates are the ones coming true from the stairwell, finishing off Neptune and ensuring that they also take down 666 Raph as well, just around the outside.
Axis, this is probably the last stand for them.
Double kill.
I mean, I was surprised that Neptune did that jump shot and actually just one-shotted one of the VGM guys. But at the end of the day, Axis just not having a day at all. He's not having a round. Flame able to somehow slip away. So keeping the Axis dream alive in this final round.
Yeah, but next revive point is at confinement. He's already making his way to that compound here. If he can get them up to speed quickly enough, perhaps it might be a chance. But we also see VGM making the way down there, knowing the Axis is still trying to get themselves back into the fight. Farang, in the meantime, getting caught out by X-Roy, who is a little bit far off from the rest of his team, I think. But then
he just respawned. Come on.
That's just adding. Just kicking him while he's down, isn't it? So, nevertheless, though, the kill point is a point, and Farang has just taken that pretty handily.
And Expand, they actually took control of command post, but the problem is there's a danger zone on it, and also they just lost Roy. So this is going to be a 3 versus 4 affair if Farang decides to push in. And they have done this, you know, multiple times where they also want to contest command post. It's a hard zone for these two Malaysian squads, and Farang now, they have the advantage.
They have to kind of wait until the danger zone goes out, because they cannot really afford to walk out into the open area, because that risks them getting bombarded by this danger zone. So that's a little bit of a reprieve here, allowing Expand to try to set up a good ambush point. In the meantime, Flash seems to have caught up to the Council Hall just as VGM has already moved on to confinement, and that is well, they're going to find there's only probably about scraps to pick up here. Not much in terms of good equipment, but nevertheless, there are still in the middle of this next safe zone has already come out here. A bit of a northwards bias here for this current circle, so that kind of puts teams like Heavy in a bit of pressure here as Axis are jumping back into the map, and it seems like they're taking position to try to gatekeep Heavy from their position. In the meantime, Farang now moving in after the danger zone has cleared, are seeking to try to knock Expanse off of this perch here on command post. They already spot the Axel, putting some damage onto him too bad, wrapping around the left-hand side, trying to cut him off before he runs away. Now Axel has been completely caught out here with the glue wall. They get a good shot here to take him down, so Expand now down to 3 with X-Roy just only joining the fight, but he's going to making a beeline straight for Bayfront.
And that means it's actually a 4 versus 2, and you can see that Expand, they do not want to be a part of this at all. Command post has been lost. Expand not in the shape to fight. Cobra, unfortunately, will have to make his last stand here as Shah scatters into the wind. Very, very questionable decisions. I mean, Expand from the beginning, the fact that Roy was revived and still chose to be out there so far alone is in and of itself kind of a disadvantage to the team, a handicap that Expand cannot afford to keep doing.
Yeah, well, the good news for them, though, is that X-Ray has already made it to the revive point at Bayfront, so they can potentially bring things back, but King of Gamers has spotted them as well, so it's starting to put shots and actually knock down X-Roy when he went for that revive point. In the meantime, I think Farang as well already getting under fire from MDH, who are moving out of Refinery now to try to find some fights on the outside. They were united in the meantime, moving to the circle now as he just kind of lands on top of Bayfront as well as Refinery, so that puts MDH in a really favorable position. King of Gamers, though, completely wiped out the Expand, it looks like, from that Bayfront area, so it looks like Expand is down to Shah now to try to recover, so that's 2 resets in a row. Kind of a familiar feeling if you are Team Expand here, so a bit unfortunate for them as they are definitely on the back foot from this point on.
Yeah, we've seen this story before, and last time it happened, it did not end well for Expand. Sem9 having to tank a bit of that blue zone, but I mean, I'm very worried for Shah because there's nowhere from the goal, no revival points close enough for him to take over. This is going to be a very, very gruesome way. KOG engaging with Axis, and Shah is just listening to all of this commotion. Heavy also from behind as well. Axis, they don't really have a full team with them, and if they get pinned up by Heavy right now, it's going to be lights out for them. And Heavy knows that Axis is in the building. Yep,
they're just moving very rapidly through as Axis is already holed up inside the building. Flame7 is going to try to get to the car and try to make an exfil here, while Mill now grapples his way to close the distance between himself and Axis. Fudai already sending some troubles their way into the building here, putting them even more under pressure, while the rest of Axis continue to try to hold their ground. One of the members have already moved out of here as Insurance, but that puts them in a very awkward position here to try to defend in the 2v4, and I don't think they will do well here, unfortunately. Even with 66 Raph getting a one knockdown there, it's not enough to stem the tide of Heavy moving in, and they take those kill points anyway.
And Buffalo just highest accuracy for first shot knockdowns. This guy is unreal. Thankfully, Flame was able to grab a vehicle and get the heck out of there. Should have not much people kind of at the outskirts. There's a direct revival point in front of him, but only if you can get there. Sem9 is, well, Sem9 is going to put that to a stop. No more revival for Axis. Flame is gone. Axis is gone.
Just unfortunate, and you know, taking the Formula 1 car out, it's just such a distinctive sound that, you know, you're gonna get spotted very easily just from people putting the ear to the ground. So Sem9 literally having another kill point handed to them on a silver platter, while in the meantime Farang has just found Heavy here, and looks like they want to try to engage them in battle from the open field, which is a bit unfavorable for Farang, but conversely Heavy doesn't really have a lot of cover on their side of the map either.
Oh no!
Jia is gonna get spotted here. This is just going to be going bad to worse now for Expand. Newbie comes around the corner. Oh, who was that? Peekaboo. I see you. Expand getting eliminated in 9th place thanks to a Max 7 shot from Raja.
It just had to happen. There's nothing that he could do in that situation. One of those rounds that you don't really want to beat yourself up about. Definitely felt like they could have done a bit more in those early rounds, but we've seen Expand do this every now and then, and again, it has not gone well for them whenever they pull off this very wide split. Nonetheless, let it be the past. They still have 3 more days after this. Expand happy with the 2 booyahs that they got, but that means that Heavy now has a really good chance of just overtaking Expand once more.
Now this next circle lands on top of Bayfront, which is very interesting because that actually puts King of Gamers now having the favorable position. Dewa United has just gotten into Bayfront as well. There is a single buy point to take control over in the middle there, so that could be the potential for them to get some revives. King of Gamers in the meantime trying to gatekeep Heavy from being moved in. Farang looks like they want to jump straight onto Sem9 here using the jump pad in order to get themselves on top of Sem9's position. This could actually work out well for them, especially given that they already taken control over the rooftop. Good grenade there for Jembal. Can another shot there actually take down Raja? He's taking a lot of damage. He put out a time turner there. I think that negated most of the grenade damage right there and then. But Sem9 is still holed up in the second floor while Farang has control over the rooftop. And we also see MDH trying to get themselves into the mix as well, putting some shots from a distance here. But right now it's going to be a slogfest inside the house itself as Raja gets taken down. Newbie and Fikri on the outside. Newbie still inside the house. Too bad now joining the fray as they scramble to try to fight it out. Man to man, hand to hand, inside the house. Victory with the kills coming true. Spain able to get a trade, and Sem9 is the one that gets taken out instead.
So well done by Farang, basically sending grenades down the chimney for the initial knock, and Sem9 completely caught off guard, and Farang decided, you know what, we have Sem9 trapped in the building, let us just surround him, and they pull it off. Had to sustain a casualty though, not the ideal scenario, but they did get the full wipeout. KOG getting kind of suppressed by the members of Heavy from long range, but it's actually Dewa United that gets the first kill onto Kevin. Heavy decides to take it slow. Dewa United still relentless. Osaka the next one to get gunned down, as Farang was able to bring Jespo back. Dewa United now applying a lot of pressure onto KOG.
Yeah, they want to be the kings of Bayfront right now, and King of Gamers, you know, they're more focused on Farang in that instance, and now they're gonna have to turn around and start getting trades against Dewa United there, unless they'll lose their position when it comes to Bayfront. But this is getting very crowded now. MDH moving in from the from the southern side. We also have Farang as well, still stuck at the edge of the blue zone here, and Heavy is actually moving to try to take their position. MDH actually has a good high ground position to keep an eye on Dewa United from that position, so that's going to allow them to take pot shots from them, while now Heavy fully engages Farang. They want to try to take them out before they're able to get into this next safe zone.
This is going to be incredibly hard for Farang. They will need to start dumping all those glue walls to create a safe path. But time is ticking for them, because look at Heavy. They are repositioning themselves to cut off Farang. And you hear the sirens as well. The blue zone's gonna close in. Jembao, the first one to make a break for it. He's gonna be the trailblazer for the team. Run for your lives, Farang. Two of them make it past. Spade also with a grappling gun, able to close some distance, but they still have not made it out of the firing range set up by Heavy. This makeshift shooting range that they have constructed for themselves. Meanwhile, Binsu, grenade launcher, good one onto Bayo, as both the enemy's Titans are going at each other. Strode by and just flies on top of the roof. Yanbei needing to stay alive, getting kind of shot down pretty low, 53 health. Vantan healing back up with an inhaler as VGM continues to push in onto Team Flash, looking to wipe them out.
The thing is, with one member still around the outside, he needs to rejoin his fight quickly here so they can stabilize this against Team Flash, who right now are looking to try to get a knockdown, but themselves are a little bit under pressure. They've already burned a lot of glue walls up on that rooftop there in order to try to take this position, but with Bloody still around the outside, he needs to be able to make that grenade launcher sing in order to take down VGM at this point. And Bayo is already trying to flank around the side here. Flash having a much more spread out positioning here. They're just trying to overrun Bingsu, getting a good shot against Shin right now. So they're already taking a lot more damage than we're expecting at this point, and Bloody is going to get caught up. But Bingsu just around the outside, and with that last shot there with the grenade launcher, that sends Team Flash out in 7th place.
Yeah, Dewa United might be overran by Farang as well, because I saw Babsy just blew himself up with a grenade launcher. Thankfully, they were able to bring him back up. Farang, they made it past Heavy, but can they make it past Dewa United? Seems like they're all caught out. They had to use so much glue walls, and the circle is not going to wait. They just touched down, and the circle is going to close in again. Farang, you got to keep on running. Run for the light, as Dewa United and MDH will be the two teams gatekeeping Farang. And this is going to be a tall task. You see them splitting up already. Farang sending one member onto the rooftop. Maybe that is the lifeline that they need for themselves. MDH out in the open. Nero leading the charge, spearheading his team's effort to maybe get a couple of knockdowns, as Farang somehow survives the gauntlet for a bit longer. Dewa United will have to contend with Heavy. This is an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah, the thing is that the situation is just changing by the second right now. VGM just trying to take themselves on the rooftop, but MDH is doing the good work there. by trying to take a couple down, but then Farang is becoming the interrupter right now with Jezebel getting kills on the DMP as well as No Cry getting taken down by Bantan. This is looking really bad here for VGM and MDH as well. Farang is still having full stack here, still able to hold their own in this fight as they take control over the building completely. VGM still stuck on the outside. KOG actually putting some damage onto Heavy there, keeping them tied up on the opposite end of the circle. Now Farang still has position here. Unfortunately, just lost Jezebel. Now to fight around the outside here. Magic Catch takes two. Hey, Magic take down two here from VGM. This could be good here for Farang. You can finish them off. It's now Bantan's the last man standing. Not for long though, as Jembal takes him down with a Charge Master.
They're gonna pick Jembal back up. Farang might actually do this. 5 more teams left. Farang, 3 men alive. They gotta contend with MDH first. MDH first, and then the rest of the lobby. Heavy with only 1 man alive, and that guy is Buffalo, so this is no pushover. It's not an easy task. Dewa with the full squad, still pretty much healthy. They don't have much glue walls left to work with though, so that's something that maybe Farang can exploit. But right now, Farang, they need to catch a breather, and they have done so. But the circle is closing in. Everyone's going to be forced into the center. Farang is going to make the first move. Too bad, doing it good, but runs into Bam's grenade launcher. Farang, they won't have time to bring Jembal back up. It's down to 2 members. Dewa, still strong. Buffalo, found out. Heavy, out of this round. Dewa is doing it. Too bad gets the first one to Osaka. KOG somehow around, still in the vicinity, but Dewa might have just done it. They have just too many members for all of these teams to go through, and Dewa United Esports scores the last booyah of the day.
Wow, finally Indonesia shows up to the fight, and boy, what a fight it was. Even though one of their members had to play remotely, he can still feel the elation in their lineup right now, having pulled off what seemed like the most chaotic fight we've